Yes. I got one of the gatekeepers in the building. My guy Kim, man, Kim from Washington Heights, straight from Washington Heights, man, on the Go Us podcast, man. Just so happy to have you, brother. So happy to have you. So glad you was willing to do it, man, because I know you got a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And plus, you one of the guys that I looked up to growing up. So let's do it, man. Let the people know who you are and where you come from.
Okay, I'm A Kim. Sometimes they call me Slim. I ain't Slim no more, but from the Heights.
Washington Heights, man. And like you say, I got right here rolling on the bottom right there. We're gonna talk about John Strickland, the Bridge Apartments, and living in Washington Heights, man. Give some people some background on when you first moved to Washington Heights, because even I don't even have this information. Was you born in Washington Heights? Did you move to Washington Heights? Give us the
Okay, now
information.
first, I was actually born in Washington Heights, which is in Sloan Kettling, which turned into Columbia
Presbyterian.
Presbyterian.
What was the name of it?
Sloan Kettling.
Wow. So that's on your birth certificate.
Yeah.
So say it one more time for the people. What's the name?
It's Sloan Kettling.
Sloan Kettling. I would have lost that trivia question. All I ever remember was what is called Presbyterian
Yeah,
Hospital,
Columbia
right?
Presbyterian now.
Columbian Presbyterian Hospital. Wow.
Yep.
So you was actually born in Washington Heights, a native of Washington Heights, a
Yes.
native New Yorker.
Yes.
That's interesting. Now that's
Yes.
interesting. So let me ask you this. So, man, explain Washington Heights. You ain't got to give up your age and all of that, but explain your childhood in Washington Heights, and just for the people that can understand, because most people think Washington Heights is a Dominican neighborhood that was always a Dominican neighborhood. I think they don't understand it was a Jewish neighborhood, from what I understand.
Oh man.
Then it became a black neighborhood. Then it became a Dominican neighborhood. But I don't know. But you could correct me and give me some knowledge on those times. The early
For
70s
me,
or
it
60s
was
or whatever.
for me it was Jewish, Polish, um, yeah, some Italians.
Wow.
Yeah. And basically the only blacks at that time lived in the four buildings.
Right. So the four buildings that he's speaking of is the Bridge Apartments. Those
The
tall
bridge apartments,
buildings
correct.
in Washington Heights. You can't miss them. You can see them from the Bronx. You can see them from the Bronx. You can see them from Jersey. Whenever you're on
Yes.
the George Washington Bridge, Cross Bronx Expressway, Harlem River Drive, you can basically see them buildings from damn near Connecticut to a certain
Exactly.
degree. But the four buildings, four towers, some people call them the towers, some
Yeah, they
people call
call them
them
the bridge
projects,
towers.
some people call them all these things, man. It's called the Bridge Apartments, man. So what's the buildings? What's the numbers of the buildings? I don't remember. I know 1365. It is
It's
1365,
1365,
1370,
1370, 111, and 260.
260. Now, which one is 260 on Wadsworth?
That's Audubon.
Audubon. Okay.
111 Wadsworth and
Wadsworth. All right.
1365 and 1370 is
Look, I hope they don't take my
St. Nick.
Washington Heights cards, because I ain't know what the dirt. I know it was, but I got the 1365 and 1370. And I know those was the two buildings that's popping. Audubon was
Yes.
popping too.
There's on
Audubon
the
was
avenue.
But due to the fact that 1365, 1370 is really facing each other and mirroring each other, everything was
Yes.
going on between those two buildings, from what I understand. I know all the parties was in those buildings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the parties.
Everything was going on. But finish
we
telling
go-
us about being a Jewish neighborhood, a Italian neighborhood, and all those things, because this is great information for me.
It was Irish also. It was pretty diverse and everybody mingled because it's like when we came, it was like everything was family oriented. It was all families. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like blue collar families,
I think I
professional.
moved up there in like 80, 80, 81. And matter of fact, even in my building, you had some people from different cultures. You had some like some Jewish people, some older white women in the
Yes.
building. So it was a real mixed building at that time. And I'm gonna tell you what's so funny. I caught a cab one time, and it was like a cab driver. I think I would like to say he was like on a Arab kind of side. And so he told me something. He might have been Jewish, but I mean, he just had dark skin. But he told me something that I never forget what he said. He said, this used to be a really good neighborhood, and then they used the blacks to get the people out of the apartments to get the control. So because people didn't want to live next to the blacks, so they
Yep.
started moving to the blacks. And
Yep.
then his neighbor, he was talking about, I guess he used to live in Washington Heights. And then he started talking about, Drew Park and all these things. And he said it used the blacks to break the rent control because blacks would, people didn't want to live next to the blacks, And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. And he said then they started using the Dominicans to get the blacks out. Like in so many words, people would get their apartment in New York and they would never leave. So now if I put some people to you that you might deem undesirable or whatever you can see them as, you decided to move because you felt like the neighborhood is going down. So I'll never forget that cab ride. And I thought it was great information because I never thought about it like that,
Oh, yes. They use that same system today.
Well, I guess what? The Dominicans outsmarted them because who they going to bring in there to move the Dominicans? Nobody.
First and foremost, they leave when they get ready.
No, but I think what happens is they outsmarted themselves, I guess, because they wanted to be able to get people to move because, New York have that rent control. So they figure out how can we break rent control by putting somebody, I guess they would deem undesirable. But now it's a Dominican neighborhood. But tell me a little more about, the childhood and upbringing in Washington Heights in the early, because I know, remember, when I moved there, I saw a lot of black-owned business there at one point when I was there. What was the black-owned store owner? His name was Jimmy, right? When I remember.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy was married to Paula.
Paula. I think I remembered him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Paula was the wife.
A lot of people don't know Washington Heights was, they always think that because, they do have some history with Dominicans at that time, but they also, you've seen the influx of different groups coming in. So, explain what schools you went to.
Okay, when I moved to the Heights, I was still going to school in the South Bronx, and then that I moved to after junior high school, I went to George Washington.
So you did go to J Dubs.
George Washington.
Nice. But look, man, thank you for that information, man. I kind of want to talk about, thank you for giving us a little bit of that background, but I really want to talk about our buddy, John Strickland, the playground legend that did so much with basketball. I know the early years up until high school and before I went away to college and things like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, Strick grew so much after high school, it was like almost unbelievable. I remember coming in his building. He was like, yo, come holler at me. So I'm walking down the hall because, if you ever been to Strick house, his hallway, he's all the way down the hall, right?
Yeah, he all the way in the back.
Like 19J or something like that.
Yeah,
so 19J. When you get off the elevator, he was standing in the hallway, and I was like, yo, how's he that big? Like, he went from, like, my size at, like, 5'10", to, like, 6'8".
Yeah.
Like, no break in between. He wasn't no 6'3". It wasn't no then 6'5".
Yeah.
He went from 5'10" to 6'8". And I don't know when he did it because I went away to school. When I came back, I couldn't even believe. I was walking down the hall, and it's almost like I saw a Frankenstein. Because I was looking at him like...
Because his brothers is tall, so he was like, yo, where's Strick at?
No, but I heard his voice. He was like, yo, XYZ. And I was like, yo, dog, what the hell happened? He said, kid, I got big. I got big. And I'm talking about he didn't get big, like just tall. He was like big. And Strick don't work out. So he was just
the craziest part. You talk about somebody that did not work out.
Strick was an excellent player. If he would have worked out,
he would have dominated
everybody.
If he had the discipline.
Look, Strick couldn't even do one of my workouts. He's like, nah, you do too much.
Strick needed strength for the club.
Yeah, Strick was like, yo, he's like, yo, dog, let's work out. Because, a lot of reps, because a lot of people think I got into training just now, but I've been training and teaching.
Nah, you've been doing that forever, man. Since I knew you.
Yeah, even when my nephew Jack, man, matter of fact, shout out to Jack, man. He had some technical difficulties. We forgot to even bring up Jack, man, the other half of the show. We couldn't even get him in. For some reason, there's some disconnect with the system and didn't let him in. He's out in Cali. They're having some bad weather out there. So I do want to announce that. Shout out to Big Jack. Yeah, I was working him out. So even when Strick used to try to do my work, I said, let's run the George Washington Bridge. Let's run the stairs. You on the 19th floor.
Strick's not doing none of that.
Yo, he did it one time, bro. He's like, nah, Ive, you doing too much. Too much. I came back and get him another day. He's like, nah, bro, I'm sleeping, man. He told his mom and him, no, don't let him in here. Tell him I'm sleeping.
That's right. I was like, Strick was straight up. Yo, see me game time.
Yo, look, he had enough size, enough body to make the big difference. And He just was. He loved basketball. Let me tell you something.
Yo, he
It was
loved
everything. You know how some
basketball.
people are sent to this planet to play basketball, and sometimes you be like, "Wow, he really, really, really was sent to this planet to make an impact in basketball." And if you know anything about John Strickland, man, he was somewhat of a shy kid growing up.
He
You
was
remember
extremely
that?
shy.
Extremely shy and but quiet to a great degree. You know what I'm saying? And I met him on on 175th and Amson in the park right there, Highbridge Park. And I met him like
Yeah.
that, man. And we played a one-on-one at the time. You know, back then they was trying to, make kids play against each other and all. And I beat Strickland in one-on-one. He was really upset. And I was like, nah, bro, it's just a game, XYZ. You know, it's
Nah,
nothing.
he doesn't. He doesn't
Yeah, but
do
he
that.
took it, but what happened after that, you start to understand that his love for basketball might have been higher than a lot of people. You feel me?
Oh,
like,
yes.
you know how I love the game, you love the game,
Nah,
but I think the game meant something to him when you look at it now and you realize like he didn't want to do anything else but basketball. I mean, he
didn't.
hang out with the chicks and all that, but as far as what he gonna use his body and mind for, he cared about basketball more so than anything.
Yeah, he loved basketball. He loved the competition. He loved that. Strick was a guy that he was cool on the court as long as you didn't talk to him. If you woke him up, the beast comes out. You know what I'm saying? Don't foul him. Don't start talking nonsense to him.
And he will have like moments where he'll go into some type of crazy man zone. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
he
you
blacks out.
And you wouldn't believe what he could do. I remember back in our elementary school days, back then I was like, the little man back then with PS115 doing all the scoring. So he was in Incarnation, and somehow he got in some type of trouble in Incarnation. And then he told me that he was coming to my school. So I said, yo, you coming to 115? Because, back then we might have had 2 black kids and the rest was Dominican kids. Back then Dominicans really didn't play basketball. They played baseball. We had a few players like William Castro, Fernando. That's my guy. I shot them out, Washington Heights guys. Really good guys. Oh, that's my guys. William Castro. Listen, then we had my man, Puerto Rican guy named Frankie Colon.
Pretty boy. I know Frank.
Yeah, right. Not that Frank, but this is a different one. This one was like Puerto Rican dude. Puerto Rican dude that he might have been. He did 5th and 6th grade with me. Then he was gone. And then Strick came to our school, man, and it's so funny, man. We were super excited to have Strick. He was just coming to his own as a basketball player. And then, we was young kids, man. And I remember we used to have our own little league where we'd go put the hanger up inside the door and play with like a sock or something. And a Nerf basketball, kind of like the small baskets that most kids have today, but we didn't have that back then. We had a hanger. So we'd play on a hanger.
You should tape the hanger up.
Right. And then so we had a little league where I was the Lakers, Strick was the Sixers, because he was a big Dr. J fan.
Yes,
big
he was.
Big
Dr. J and Barkley.
Yeah, I think Barkley came later, but Dr. J was everything. He even wore his hair. That's why Strick, if you look at his hair, he had a little fro back then. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was one more other guy. Jeff had a team. I think Jeff was, who was Jeff? Like Milwaukee or something. I forgot what Jeff team was.
That sounded like Jeff.
Yeah, so something like that. I don't know. He might have been the Celtics. Who knows? And so I was playing. So then I hit him with because Kareem was the man. So I threw the sky hook on Strick, and because back then everybody was calling me Ken. So I said Ken Reem. Ken Reem. You feel me? Most people didn't know my name was Ivan.
Exactly. You're right about that. I knew your name was Ivan, but we all called you Ken.
Yeah, Ken. Right. So then I said Kareem. And I scored and winning basket on him, right? So then we started laughing. So now Strick played, so I was like Ken Reem, right? So then we played in our first game against I think it was school 128, right there, right there where 169th Street Park is.
Oh, yes.
So then John gets in a game, and then he hit his first couple of shots, and he was cooking. So then he hit another shot. They fouled him, and he said to the crowd, "There's no stopping John Reem now."
Exactly.
So
that's
I
him.
was like, wow. And I had never seen that side of him. So
that's him.
So listen, so it wasn't like he became that. I saw that in elementary school where
that was cooking, him. And he didn't show that until the basketball court. That's the craziest part.
Listen, he broke out of a shell like crazy. Yes. And I'll never forget that day. And it was the funniest thing because I said Ken Reem and he said John Reem.
Exactly. He switched that up.
Oh man, look, I was laughing so much because I
He
just
took your
like, yo,
slogan.
yeah, but it was fun for us as kids because he probably didn't say nothing about it that day, but it was exciting to know that our connection was like that for many, many years. And I know that you was in his life in the later
Oh
parts of
man,
his life, and we're gonna get into it, man.
strict.
We definitely gotta get into some of the history of our guy, man.
I
And
got to meet so many people
yeah,
and
talk
go
about that a
so
little
many
bit.
places because of that young man.
I can imagine, man.
I started being international because of him.
Yeah, man. He played. Did you go to any of the overseas games with him? Did you go to any
Yeah,
of them?
he flew me to Korea. We stayed out there
Oh, you was in Korea?
yeah, I went to Korea.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you, Strick got mad at me one time because I think I was working a 9 to 5 at that time. I thought I was making money, and he wanted me to come with him to the Hawaii Pacific, and I was like,
Oh,
I probably was about 20 at that time. He was like, "Yo, come on, man, I need a point guard with me out there." He was so upset I didn't go out to Hawaii Pacific. I think that was my first time I had my own apartment, my own car, my own job. And I thought I was a grown man at
right.
that time. And then,
Yeah.
like back then, the Dominicans like, yo, we could get you over to DR. I was playing a little junior college ball at Manhattan Community College and all of that. So then I started working my job and I was like, yo, I can't manage all this stuff. So I just started
Right.
focusing on making money. At that time, you thinking, what is the path to any of this? You feel me? And then you start
Right.
making money, you start focusing on that and not focus on that. But I kind of regret it to a certain degree. But at that time, independence is important, because my
Yes,
family had
indeed.
left and went to the South. So I was like, damn, I got this apartment that I would have to give it all up strictly for basketball. And I don't think I kind of felt comfortable making that decision, especially going all the way to Hawaii. And when you're
Right.
from New York, man, you barely want to leave New
Yeah,
York.
it's different.
You barely don't even, you know what I'm saying? Because I know Strick went to junior college in Texas. He went to
Yep.
Hawaii. So he really went for it. And then
Yes,
he
he
went from
did.
Hawaii to Louisville, from what I understand, right?
Yeah.
And then he has like the hard
Well, he
part.
went from Louisville to Hawaii.
Oh, he went from Louisville to Hawaii.
Yeah,
Hey,
because he's going
Jack is in the
Louisville, and
building.
that's when the
Hold up, Jack is in the building, man. We got him in. Yes.
Oh no, look at Gold Me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he's in the building.
much I went through to
Listen,
get here.
you ain't
We
did
Look
nothing.
at Gold Me.
You ain't do nothing. Bam.
You gonna make me put my hat on now? It's that
In
bullshit.
the building.
I've been through a lot to get to this. You know what I mean? Look at
Yeah,
this.
to put my little Gold Me hat on.
Oh, okay.
They talking
Okay. Oh, you got the Gold Me? Hey, yo.
Oh,
Yeah, I put my Gold Me hat on.
okay.
You know, Jack sent me a hat.
We gotta change. Oh, wow.
No, you already know. I see you,
GoMeBrand.com.
baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, GoMeBrand.com. Oh, everybody.
Exactly.
This is the real
Gold Me.
interview here. This is the real deal here, man. Listen, we're gonna get you caught up, man. We're just talking about some of the Strick stories that me and Strick growing up. And man, give us something fun about Strick, man. What you love about Strick and one of your great Strick moments. Then I'm gonna have to hit the videos right quick, man. Let me know about you and your relationship with Big Strick, man.
You know, one of my favorite moments when I was out there at 5'5", right? I go out there and check him, go see him, right? I'm like, okay. So it was funny because this was back in the day there. You feel me?
Right.
So Warren on the side, whatever. I think, and so they was playing against somebody or whatever. So now they had this big tall dude from out of town. He ain't no big guys in New York got handled. You feel me? So
it was a Strick Gold Me moment.
Oh, please believe it. Please believe it. So Strick bring him out to like the half court. Hit him with he dribble, go in and out with him, come back out, right? So then the dude step back. Then Strick come back and hit the ball off his booty. Boom,
Oh
boom,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He get the ball, come back like, oh, money is excuse me. He said money in trouble, right?
Exactly.
So money, so he faked it behind money back, right? So he turned around, Strick go get the phone from Warren in the crowd, grab the phone, go dunk it, and told the nigga, oh, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, man. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Yo, they got footage of that somewhere.
Easy.
Yo, they got footage of that somewhere, Jack.
Yes, indeed. I remember that game. I remember that
my
game.
favorite moments right
Matter
there.
of fact, you know what's so funny? The Strick dunk, I think a lot of the N1 guys actually stole that, You know, there's no disrespect to what they did, but a lot of them they heard about that, and I forgot about
Yes.
that strict moment on the phone, man.
Yeah.
OG Juan, man, I know you got the footage, man. Send that footage, man. Look,
Oh,
we
you
know
know,
that
he
footage is.
has all the footage.
He has all
He
the footage.
has
You gotta let that go,
all
man.
the
We talking
footage
legend here,
from
man.
from them
We
periods of
talking
time.
legends here, man. You know,
Yeah,
so
that
yeah,
was
man.
that was one of my moments, you know what I mean? And man, it was many more, bro. It was nuts when you had that brick cell phone and thought, I'm on my
Yeah.
way, money. Yeah, he
Yeah,
had
yo,
everybody
that
going
was
And that's
funny.
the
I
crazy
saw
part
that.
because he was on the phone and he dunked. He still had the phone to
Yeah,
his ear.
yeah, he dug with the
Yeah,
phone.
he had the phone to his ear while he was
With the
dunking. I'm
phone,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, that was classic. So any of y'all understand, Strick pulled that out the hat first, man. So I think a
yes,
few guys, hot sauce, a few cats did that afterwards. But like you
yes,
say, we understand. But I think a lot of times, when I think about AND1, let's talk about that for real quick. We ain't gonna get too deep into it. I respect AND1, but I don't like a little bit of that when right now, if I hit somebody with a move, they will say I'm doing AND1, and I'm like, bro, I'm older than AND1, right?
exactly.
I've been throwing it around your head and between your legs and behind your back. I just don't like the fact that AND1 get that credit for that flashy play when it's almost like Harlem started that first, and Harlem been that way for many years. And then anybody say no, Harlem didn't start it. Well, you didn't start before the Harlem Globetrotters, which was in
Exactly.
1910. So that style of play has been in Harlem for years. That flashy style of play. So
That is so
AND1
true.
get more credit for the flashy style of play. And, you know, we grew up playing like that. So that's how I laugh at kids. I
Yes.
always stop them and say, hold up,
And,
time out.
and it's
Don't
funny
do
to
that.
add on to what you're saying
Don't
is
do
because
that. Call me Rucker, if anything. Don't call me AND1 or call me Harlem basketball.
Yeah.
and the funny thing behind that is like back in the day, right? You only could come to New York and see that style of play. You feel me?
True.
It was and see that's what the N1 did. It spread it around the world. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because
indeed.
you only could come to New York or the Rucker to see that bebop. You know what I mean? When it comes with that
That
rock and
is
that roll.
true.
You know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of people didn't understand that we was doing that on regulation. See, like these
Yeah.
In the
cats
game.
is just doing super like carry and this and that. No, we was doing things and it was regulation. You know what I'm saying?
It's
How
true.
It was the real way to play.
Yeah,
Like if I
Yeah,
cross
so-
between your legs,
That's true.
I hit you with a middle, go between your legs, finish. It's all about really scoring and really getting buckets. But a lot of guys was overdoing it by doing extra. So a lot of what they
Yes.
doing was illegal. But you know what's so funny now? They got a guy on the internet right now, and I forgot his name. It starts something, but he got so many ways that they claim is not a walk and XYZ. But you'd be like, dog, we never could take jump steps on our jumpers, man. You know that.
No.
Like,
No.
there was no such thing as the pivot step. I thought a pivot is something
No.
you just turn. You feel me?
That's it.
Like, how do you get to take a pivot step? Like, how's that? What is a
Yeah.
pivot step? But once
is-
again, they wanted the more offense to be the key of the game, you know?
And it's funny because it's like now, because like our age, y'all age, my age, you know what I mean? Now we in these buildings as coaches and stuff. So now we letting certain things pass. See, back in the days, us city players used to come and go to other little different areas and go play basketball. And these coaches didn't like our style of play. You feel
At
me?
all.
So
No. You gotta look. The only coach that I knew at that time was that liked that style of play was Skip to my lose coach.
yeah,
Oh,
Tarkanian.
Tartanian. Yeah. Matter of
Yeah,
fact,
he's
Yeah,
the only
Tark-
one that I know that
Yeah, but-
that was
but-
cool with.
let me tell
Yeah,
you something.
and that is, and you know, and that was like a little hard on us from the city. You know what I mean? Because we all we know is just get buckets. You feel me?
Yeah,
Listen,
We didn't really look at the structure of it. You know what I mean? We just looking at I got 50 on money. You feel me? I
yeah.
don't know all that
For a
do
long
number
time,
one
look.
cut through and all that do number two cut through all that shit. Nah, money, I gave that nigga like 50. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
look.
y'all was
And
looking
see,
at box scores.
Look, in New York, you're taught to be. listen,
Y'all looking at box scores. All that other stuff didn't mean nothing. How much did you get?
Yeah, how much he had on money. Look, when you look at it, that's why a lot of times, a lot of players, when you realize we play in the park, right? So I remember playing on fiberglass, and I was like, it don't have the same touch. You feel me? And we never
Exactly.
really got to work on fiberglass. We never was in gyms. Like we would have to get in like city college to see a fiberglass backboard. You feel me?
But
Back then it wasn't really like that because even the elementary schools didn't have fiberglass. Fiberglass
No.
was like you had to have like your gym had to be a real gym. You feel me?
Yeah, you
And
had
the
to go
one was like wooden
to
backboard.
a college gym or a
Exactly.
high school gym. You know, regular
Pratt-
gyms.
Pratt
No.
University.
And
That's
the
the other
funny
time I seen a
thing, in
fiberglass.
Highbridge inside Highbridge, that's concrete.
You ain't
Oh, yeah.
lying.
On the
You ain't lying. Yes.
Hey,
Look,
You
that's
ain't
not
lying.
word. So that's concrete all day. So and it's funny because us city ball players, we learned how to play in these parks. You feel me? So outside that concrete don't give. So and then when you get to going to these colleges and start playing in the inside and then them floors be having that you be on them good wood floors that have bounce.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah,
the
that
ball
little
be
bounce.
even better. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we not used to that. So
No.
so when we do get on that court, it feel like you like a double dribble, like a double every time you dribble, it feel like double. You know what I mean? So
But
you
I'm
like,
gonna tell
oh
you
shit.
another thing too. You know
So
what I
it
used
takes
to
you a
hate
whole
too?
another 5 years to get used to that, or 2 years to get used to that.
Yeah, because we wasn't trained on that at all. We was outside.
Listen, let me tell you
Everything was
something.
outside.
Outside. That's
Listen,
it.
I'll tell you this: we learn how to play, and we never learn how to use plays. You feel me? So now I teach kids how to play and then teach them plays. Because what happens is you gotta almost learn what to do with the ball, and then learn what plays are. Because I remember playing at Manhattan Center, and I was just like, why I can't just shake my man and go? You feel me? But then I started to
Right.
realize that
They want you to have structure.
and
Yeah.
we could play basketball without the coach. The coach can't play. He can't coach without players. So
That's
he
true.
got to implement plays because
Yeah.
why would we need them? So he like, yo, Doug, you need plays. So that's when you start to understand it's more of a chess match when you start playing basketball now, cut, pick, roll, X, Y, Z. But we just grew up playing for hours and hours and hours and hours on punt hours. That's why kids today, I go to the parks in New York. The parks are fabulous, but nobody's in them. So that's just funny. Now nobody's in the park.
Nobody's in it.
Nobody's in the park.
Yeah, and the
No.
funny thing about that is like we used to we used to go to the parks and once we see like 1, 2, once it get like 5 people in the park, we outside. You know what I'm saying? Once it get 10, we running fulls. You get what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So with us, that structured basketball is like corny to us. You feel me?
Right.
So once we see you get into that,
All
because like
fast
when
break.
once I went to college and I'm looking at this little defense and all that, I'm like, dude, I'm breaking presses. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Money, I run through that. But
Mhm.
so when I run through it, it's not even about to run through it. To see the coach, some of these coaches got egos, right? So
Some,
when they,
all of them.
so now the coach, he don't even really care about the game more than he wants you to run that play.
That's right.
Yeah, because
Run the
that's
play I
his
sent
genius.
you to run.
Yeah, that's
in
what
your
his genius
mind,
kicking.
you thinking like, yo, dog, I got buckets. What are you talking about? Like,
Nah. You got to
you
sit
number
down next
one.
to me because you're not listening.
Exactly. So that confuse a city kid who out here dolo by himself. You know what I mean? All we know is like we
Fast
got
break
buckets on the
basketball.
court.
Because think about it, we rarely ever ran anything on half court. Everything is up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why I told some of my young kids, I never got tired till about 35. I never even knew what tired was. I'd be like, tired. It hit me one time about 38. I was like, damn, I'm a little tired. Before,
Yeah.
we used to hours and hours and
Listen,
hours.
we was the first in the park and the last to leave.
Sometimes we play basketball 2 to 3 times a day. And
Exactly.
if somebody buck us up, we're willing to go to a whole nother park.
Exactly.
I need
Go
you
to
to
somebody
play.
else's neighborhood and play.
I'm telling you, dog. Hey, you'll be in front of the building, right? And you'll be chilling, and then Big Scrick be like, yo, I think he got you, money. I don't know. Let's go down to 168th and let's see.
Let's settle this. Look, he was
That-
he
just
was a
like
master
that.
motivator. Look, he was a master motivator for people to always look. Yo, he was a
Motivator,
genius with that. He was a genius at
manipulator.
getting you caught up. You know, he was a genius at getting you caught up, man. I love him for that. But look, let me ask you this though, Kim, because we got to get back to the big John Strick. Let me ask you this: when you heard the joint with Jay-Z, was you out there that night, that day?
Excuse me?
Like the Jay-Z song, when you first heard the Jay-Z song with Strick, what did he think when he first heard that song with his name in it?
It was
'Cause I-
crazy because we were actually together, and he told me about it before I actually heard it. And Strick like the hat, so he had his New York hat on. He had his Yankee hat on. He was a Yankee fan. He had his Yankee
New
hat
York
on.
State of Mind, New York State of Mind.
He pumping his chest, be like, "Yo, my man." Strick was.
Look, man, I'm gonna go to the video, man, and tell me what y'all think about the video with this, man, which is so funny. When I heard Strick name, I was like, my guy, man.
Yes,
What
he
a
did.
joke.
I check cheddar like a food inspector. My homie Strick told me, dude, finish your breakfast.
I was playing with John Strick up in 55th, and he hit me with
that's
one of his
fresh.
no-look passes on the baseline, and I went up for a reverse dunk, and the ball slipped out of my hand, and I missed it. And the very next time out, John Strick looked at me with one of his side eyes, like,
Yeah, he
young
looked.
fella, you gotta finish your breakfast.
Yep.
Young fella, you gotta finish your breakfast.
Yep.
And that line made Jay-Z's hit song.
Right there.
But check the tapes. The very next play down, he hit me with the same no look, and I completed the reverse dunk. So I told him, look, listen,
Yep.
I finished my breakfast this time. Smush Parker here. Make sure to check out that classic documentary, The Blackout.
Yo,
man.
that's some serious stuff.
Yeah. So that was like, that was just that pass. All that behind the back pass is mean right there, kid.
Remember,
why I
he
say
started.
he had mastered the
Remember, he
game.
got into he started passing, and then he started looking at his hands.
Yeah.
He's
Start doing
like,
the
Let
Tony
me ask you this.
Yayo. Doing the
I know he
Yayo like,
played.
yeah.
Because everybody called him a nut. Like, straight, you're a nut. You don't pass to nobody. He said, yo, I can pass. What you talking about? I can't pass. All right, I got you
Strick
now.
never thought he- Look, Strick is like the one on wide receivers. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm always open. You feel me? I'm
He's
always
always open.
You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you
Mhm.
this. So Strick started, because Strick played with it. Look, I don't know if you remember, like you said, OG Juan, big shout out, but he stole Strick from our 136th Street team, man. We was at a team on 130th Street. That's why I think he first saw Strick. We was beating them. They was going to get all kind of guys for us. Strick was uptown with us, Juan ain't no
Exactly.
Strick back then. So then we came to a game. It was me, Strick, and Saint. We decent. We coming out of Washington Heights. I grew up in Harlem. So I'm like more like a Harlem Heights guy. So, 136th Street Park was down the block. I grew up playing in that park. You feel me?
Okay.
I grew up right there on 143rd and Hamilton Place. Shout out to 143rd and Hamilton Place, Malcolm Post.
Okay, oh, you right there, yeah.
My name is Tutu, Froggy, all my people's right there.
Yeah,
we already
God
know
bless
they
my
finished.
nigga Marlon too, B.
Oh, rest in peace,
Mhm.
Marlon, man. Yes, that's my whole stomping ground.
Oh, yeah, our homie Marlon.
Yeah, so I already knew how to eat in that park because I was in that park as a kid. So when I brought Strick and them, they was telling Juan and we got a tournament. So I was like, let's go. I'm gonna bring some of my guys. We started playing 136th Street tournament, which was like a really kind of easy, nothing too crazy. And Jack, what was the other dude that was real cool with you too? I think his name was Mike, huh? The other one was running the tournament a little bit.
Yeah, it was the tournament. Yeah, it was Mike. Yeah, it was Mike.
Yeah, he was real good dude, man. Where you at, Mike? Shout out to Big Mike. Look, and then we was winning with Strick, and then we got to one of the games, and Strick was like, "Yo, dog, I'm about to run with Juan, man." I like, what? What you mean? He said, "Kid, I'm running with Juan, kid." He got that look. I like,
Yeah, it's over.
I said, so back
It's-
then,
it's
we
over.
young. So back then we was young. I ain't really know about the payola. You feel me? I ain't know about
Exactly.
you know what I mean? I ain't know he was
But
like
the
hitting
thing-
cats. You know what I'm saying? We knew what he was doing in the record, but we wouldn't think you would hit somebody on a 136th Street tournament. You feel me?
Nah, but that was the way the homie got in the rucker. You feel
No,
me?
listen.
Yes.
Listen,
he wasn't down the hill. He wasn't down the hill till Strick got down with him. You feel me? So
Mhm.
once Strick he did that little move right there, they came up with the flavor unit.
Oh
Did he-
man, Flavor
That's
Unit
the
was
team Strick was originally on, Flavor Unit.
Flavor Unit.
Yeah,
That's
that was
Juan's
Juan.
team.
All right, all right.
That's Juan's
All right.
team. Flavor Unit. Flavor
Yeah.
Unit was hot, boy.
Yeah. I remember. You know what's so funny? Because I guess Flavor Unit was like around that same era. Like it was a bunch of rappers called Flavor Unit, right?
No, that was Queen Latifah. and them.
Queen Latifah and them. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about. Was it that name of their label or something?
Yeah, but that was
Gretchen
before
All was not to
one
that,
of them was when one of them had that out or before. I think that was before that, because
You
they was
Yeah.
because that's
Who
when
came first with that,
they
Flavor
started
Unit?
going everywhere. Like they had a tour. Like they was going to like the 68th tournament with that crew.
Yeah.
They went to diving with that crew. Like everywhere they was going with that
Yo,
crew.
Yeah,
shout
they-
out
they
to
played the
Dykeman, yo,
Peligro, all
we used
that.
to go up.
And
We used to go up to
Peligro and all
Dykeman
that,
all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Shout out to my man Kenny. He run Dykeman tournament, man. That dude was
Exactly.
crazy, man.
Exactly.
Woo! Talking about a dude that was nice, 30. He was nice as hell too, man. Kenny.
Yep.
Yeah, the one that run it, man. He was nice as heck. Shout out to Kenny. Look, oh yeah, so but like I say, man, then Juan and them, and that was it, man. Like you said, their relationship became ironclad, which is still a beautiful relationship. It did a lot for Strick, you know what I'm saying? And you know, me, you know, as a guy that's willing to look and face anything, you know, it's not personal.
Nah,
And we
Juan's
still went
good
kind of
dude,
far.
man.
Look, we still went kind of far, but I think they wound up getting like some dudes that was just too old for us to play against. I think they had Mario Eli. They just started
Yeah.
overdoing it.
Yeah.
Whitehead, and they matter of fact, they went and got what was the guy that was coaching Lincoln at one time? Mo Hicks. I'm like, matter of fact, Mo Hicks.
Yeah,
was-
Mo Hicks, yeah, you're right. You're
Hey,
right.
look, Mo Hicks was a grown man. He was talking to me like, yo, you can play, but you got to cut. You got to do this and that. He was coaching me while he was playing against me. You know what I'm saying? So you know, just how it is in New York. It's all about the parks, man. So you know,
Yes.
let me ask you this: he played with Fat Joe at one point, didn't he?
Yes, indeed. Pat Joe used to come pick him up in front of the bridge.
What was the name of that Fat Joe team? Terrace Waters, them?
Yeah, Terror Squad.
Terror
Yep.
Squad, man. Terror Squad, man. I got a video, man, talking about that little bit of era in that time, man. Let me see what y'all guys think about this one. Fat Joe, let's see what
Okay.
y'all think about this.
Not trying to come in my zone.
Oh, let me restart it.
When he first came, I said, oh my God, I know he's not trying to come in my zone. He comes up in Harlem in the park and they're thinking there's gonna be no problem.
And I told him it was going to be a windy day. He didn't understand. I was bringing a Chi-Town connection.
You know what's gonna happen. We gotta see each other in the chip. Around the same time, Jay-Z had this Steph on a record, get up caught like Marbury at the light, you can lose your life. Steph was so tight.
Starberry in Harlem. Starberry.
You know what I'm saying? Rapping for the hood always. I'm governing right now. I'm governing the hood right now.
To me, we had the best roster.
You got any secret weapons coming out?
Y'all just got to keep us out the championship game. Everybody be good. We make that championship game, it's going to be a problem.
And I knew they was scared to come, man.
To this day, me and Jay-Z have never said hello to each other again after that.
Yeah, man. So what y'all think about that? When they supposed to Jay-Z, was you out there, Kim? What's your sentiments on
The good thing for me was I was on the bus. So I went
You was on the bus? Who was on
the
that
whole
bus?
LeBron
Everybody
summer.
on that bus.
Oh, you was on the bus with LeBron?
Yeah, I was with them the whole summer. We meet up at Baseline, then we get on the bus and come to 55th. That's the first time I ever met Jay-Z.
Oh wow,
That's interesting. That's interesting.
It got me as how polite he was, because you know that's Jay-Z, and he came into a room and he spoke to every single person in the room before he sat down.
Wow. So he had some class about himself, regardless of.
He shook everyone's hand before he sat down.
Classy.
Yeah,
That's the first
he's
time I
one
ever
of the
met that man.
smartest
I was
guys
like,
on the planet. I mean, a lot of people try to hate on him with all kind of trivial stuff. I mean, I think that the guy has overachieved, to be honest with you, from coming out of Marcy Projects. I mean, I think
Man,
guys that try everything to try to poke holes
You
in
know-
his theory or poke holes in his legacy. I mean, I
you
just
know
think it's a
how it
little
is,
crazy.
man. Hate is real for everyone.
Yeah,
You know, crabs in the barrel type thing.
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see him as a pretty laid back kind of guy. I'm pretty sure he got to do certain things to survive, like all of us. But I
Yeah.
told people, you know, it's like the stuff that people think that they have on Jay-Z is like so minute. It's like, you know, it's like they kind of create stuff. He seemed to be a very secretive but smart guy, because you don't have really a lot on them. It's almost like people got to create stuff, you know. So let me ask you this:
because
how y'all feel about that blackout game? I got something. Go ahead, my bad, Kim. Go ahead.
No, because with that individual, especially, is like his circle is small.
Very.
You know, his circle is small. So if he wasn't there, you just thinking about it.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there, man.
You making up a story because you don't know the story. You making up a story.
Yo, 30, I'm so happy you got in, man. For real.
Too. You don't know how much I did to get in here. Oh my God.
You know, we got to talk to the company about this, man. But look,
I feel your pain, brother.
It's still a go-us moment, man. Tell me what y'all feel about this video right here.
We got the greats on here, man. I can't miss it.
We got to talk a little more about Washington Heights too, man. You know, Kim, you the first guy coming out the gate, man. You the gatekeeper, man. So, you know, we had to go with somebody we know that showed us love from day one. So, man, it's a pleasure to have you on here, man.
It's a pleasure to be here with y'all because we, like I said, we grew up together. I'm older than y'all, but I seen y'all grow. And I'm proud of y'all.
Yeah, you see me from Pampers. You feel me? So
yeah.
You said you had a few stories about Jack, man. You made me laugh about Jack. You know, I remember, I remember when I used to teach him to play. I used to send him home when he ain't work hard, man. Bob, man, get out the park. We don't need that.
Jack was a terror. He used to get on the court and sit on his ball in the middle of the court and say, "Ain't nobody playing unless I'm playing." We used to pick him up, put him on the side. He'd come right back. And we had to find somebody short so he could play because that was the only way we was playing.
I got to put me on the World. Come on, World. Get over here.
That's it, boy. It's Earl World. Come on out here. Jack playing. Man, you little kid. I said, you going to give me something. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate that because I took all that work downtown and everywhere, and it got me all the way to California with all that work y'all gave me, baby.
Yeah, that's a true story, boy. Like I said, I'm proud of you.
You know, now that you bring that up, Jack, just to think, basketball took me all the way to a lot of different countries, man, just to teach the game. I went all the way out to Australia and teach basketball and did some stuff, and I still got them still asking me to come back now, which I definitely will go out again. You know, it's just amazing. You know, I'm coaching a bunch of states right now, you know, working with Point Guard College, Phenom America, and a few other companies, you know, but it's just good that I was able to do something with the game that we love so much, you know?
That is exactly true. I'm happy for you, Joe, too, young man.
Mm-hmm. You know how you had to do something with all them skills, man. Let me tell you let me know how y'all feel about this video right here and where you was at when this happened, Kim, because I know, you know, I remember the blackout, but I think at that time I was working so much I couldn't do but maintain what I was doing. Tell me what y'all think about this video and where you was at on this night, Jack. Did you break curfew, man?
I was in the tunnel.
There's no lights.
I was
the traffic lights. Everything just stopped.
Let me start the video one more time.
In the summer of 2003, New York experienced a massive blackout. There's no lights. The traffic lights. Everything just stopped. The city was pitch black. Terror Squad and Rockefeller were supposed to have a pickup basketball game at Rucker Park, 155th. So Team S Carter was Sebastian Telfair, Jamal Crawford. Forward, LeBron James. Forward, Lamar Odom. Center, Shaquille O'Neal. Now for the Terror Squad, you had a possible starting five of guard, Allen Iverson, guard, Stephon Marbury, forward, Carmelo Anthony, forward, Jermaine O'Neal, and center, Yao Ming.
Oh, they win. Terror Squad won.
Basically, the game was supposed to be at 6. The start time ended up getting moved to 8 p.m. just because New Yorkers are notoriously late. Around that time, Jay-Z said he rolled past Rucker Park at 2 p.m. and there was already 10,000 people waiting outside to get in. Jay-Z did try to save the game. He had an idea. Everyone just lined their cars up outside of Rucker, turn your headlights on, and that was going to be enough light. NYPD said, nah, I don't think so. Y'all not doing that. But if you ever listen to Lean Back, there's a line in Lean Back that basically says, didn't have to play to win the championship. He's referring to the game that never was. So that is your history lesson in the game that never was, ladies and gentlemen.
Ashley, phenomenal job.
That was a New York history lesson for you.
Yeah, how you feel about that blackout game? Who you think would have won that game, Kim?
Was
Yao Ming there? Now everybody in the game, I was like,
Yao Ming wasn't there.
I don't think Yao Ming gonna mess with that.
Yao Ming wasn't there.
Jack was
I don't remember Iverson being there, but I do know that Marbury was there, and I'm pretty sure O'Neal was there.
Yeah, I seen O'Neal. Yeah.
But look, that was like the beginning like the beginning of training camp. So most of the pros went to training camp.
Yeah, yep.
You know, so Marbury was here, and I'm pretty sure O'Neal was here. But Crawford had went, and they also negated to say that they had the center from the Knicks at that time.
Oh, okay.
It was Crawford and him.
Oh, okay.
What was that? Eddie something. What was that dude?
Yeah.
Eddie.
Him.
Yeah, what's his last name again?
I don't know.
I know you're talking about Eddie something.
Yeah,
He was a high
Eddie,
school kid.
but yeah, he was the actual. He played with them. Like LeBron never played. He couldn't play. He was there for most of the games. He wasn't there for that last game, but he couldn't play.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
the summer.
I got
That's
a
the summer
video.
he entered. Entered the draft. So he didn't play at all.
Right. Matter of fact, I got a video. Let me load this video up, man, because this video actually talk about that moment you talking about right there, Kim. Let me see if I can
Eddie Curry.
Eddie Curry, that was his name. Eddie Curry, that was his name.
Yeah, that was a. It was the bananas.
Prove here. Now Jay-Z.
Check this video out right here.
Okay.
This is what you talking about.
Prove he had brought out a contender.
This is his first game, I think.
And it had rain that day, so we went to Gaucho Gym and all that. That was an ill day, you know what I mean? It was a lot of.
Oh, the Gaucho Gym, I was there for that one.
T-Mac and Antoine Walker, we was all together. Jay wanted us to play.
Antoine Walker,
James, a high school sensation, who was just like the highlights on ESPN was just ridiculous. And the fact that this kid had opted to go from high school right to the pros was, like the biggest story in sports. And here's this 17-year-old cat like hanging out, and it was crazy.
The walk-up was so crazy because you had Jay, Antoine Walker, LeBron James, Tracy McGrady. It was like a who's who.
Big Strick.
I was anchoring in the wave. It was just like a feeling like I can't even really explain it to y'all. So I could just say I was almost in awe.
He's almost in awe.
LeBron, Antoine Walker, and T-Mac were just fans with his game, but New York native Lamar Odom would dazzle the crowd.
Lamar being looked at. He's got a skip to
I was there for that.
What is he going to do? He's got some handle. He's being guarded. Look at the defense. The defense is being applied. Oh, baby!
Yep, we started to dance. I remember that.
That move, that was just crazy. Like, he did the sham guard, but threw it between dude's legs. I mean, that was crazy.
I'm kind of tall, but I always had a little handle and all that. So I just hit him with the sham guard and then just patted between his legs and all that. Crowd went crazy. They was feeling that.
He threw it through the kid's legs.
Yo, look.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, I still got that sweatsuit?
You do?
What?
Yeah.
Hold up, Jack. I got you, Jack. I got your team in the flashback, man. We ain't forgot you, man. We got you on the flashback at the Gaucho's Gym. Your team, Black Hand. Tell me if you remember this moment. I had to cue it up, Playboy. Hold on for a second. Was you at this one, Kim? I know I was there. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about Jack, too, right quick, man, about his moment in the Rucker, man. No question. Remember this day, Jack? You right there, number 10. Look. You see you right there, 30? Look at 30.
Boy, it was a problem. That's crazy.
It's crazy because you had Jay-Z running around the whole court. Like right here, I throw it. That's me. I throw it. Let me go. Crazy like
When he did that was crazy. This one right here, look at his head.
Yo.
You had Jay-Z running around the whole court. That's when he had the little chain with the razor on it. Iced out razor.
Hold on, Jack. We're gonna let you talk about that. Yeah, what you were saying, 30?
Nah, I said Jay-Z was there. He went crazy when he did that dunk. He ran all on the court and all that. That shit was it. That's when he had on that little chain with the razor, iced out razor, like it was like a razor. Yeah, everybody was on that little piece, but it was crazy because because they were saying that Vince was there and it started raining, so we had to run over to the Gauchos, right? And so the Gaucho niggas try to charge niggas, but it was too late. Niggas was already in the gym.
And there was too many people out there, and that'd have been too much to try to get that paper.
I'll tell you, it was too late. Niggas all in the Raptor shop. Go ahead, that shit, Lou. We already in the building.
Yeah, too late, bro.
Building, man.
Yeah, that was a good look right there, man. Yeah, I thought him threw him the alley, he caught it, he banged it, he did like finish on him. I was like, oh man. I was like, yo, this guy here, he's something deep. So after the game, we go eat at Justice. Me, Vince, my man Elias.
Yep, Elliot.
Nana, who was what his name? Chad, all the Black Hand crew.
Yeah, the whole, people out of Queens, my bros out of Queens, I had, good people from out of Queens, at that time. Matter of fact, they tried to get me to play on that team, but I ain't had the time. Like you said, at that time I was working, I was maintaining. And then I was like, nah, I'm gonna send my nephew down there. He got game. He was like, he like that? I said, come on, man. Stop playing. He's like, yeah, he like you. I said, yo, listen, he could go. He get busy. You know what I'm saying? So I sent Jack out there. And then look, my guy called me one time while I was working. My boy Ellis was like, yo, dog, where you at? Matter of fact, it was a chick I was messing with that time. I ain't gonna say her name, but she called me. She like, yo, what you doing? Yo, your nephew out here going crazy, because she was from the same project Booker Smith was from. And she's like, yo, he threw the ball around Booker Smith. I gotta go. She just hung up the phone to me. And then my guy Ellis was like, yo, dog, your nephew is giving it to Booker Smith. He's giving it to Booker Smith. Where you at? And I'm like, yo, dog, and at that time, I wish I'd have took that day off. You feel me? But Jack, your first game was against Booker Smith, right? Am I right?
Yeah, that was my first game. It was crazy because the nigga, my nigga, DeAndre told me about him, right? He was like, yo, Booker, blah, 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 yo. Because, D is my number one fan, one of my number one fans. So he started pumping him and whatever. I'm like, okay, boom. And then funny shit, my first day at Rucker, because they brung Prime from I think
Prime Objective, man. Yeah, from DC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he did his thing out in DC, so they flew him out. So me and him came at the same time. So Booger he come in, and I'm like, oh shit, my first game, I gotta play against supposed to be the number one point guard here.
He had a movie out that time.
Yeah, he did have a book.
What was the movie name? Soul in the Hole or something like that?
Soul in the Hole, yeah.
Yeah, Soul in the Hole, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh shit, it's on.
Yeah, West 4th Street, Soul in the Hole.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, we got busy. So I get in, first play. I'm out of college, so I'm on some college defense shit, right? I'm low, all the bullshit, right? So nigga, first play, this nigga throw the ball through my legs. I said, oh really? You must don't know I'm typical Jack. I said, really?
He threw it through your legs off a pass, right?
Nah, no pass. Yeah, I think a pass. Like he was just standing there.
Bounce pass through your legs.
Yeah, I was like, oh really? Boom. Next play, I come back. Boom, we dribbling the pass at half court. So he try to wait till I get past half court and try to block, make me go back court. So when he ran up, I wrapped him up. It was over. I threw it around his head. Boom, he reached up. I threw it around his belly. Boom, and then after that, I threw it to Prime, and then Prime went through the dunk, and it was over after that, my nigga. It was over. And we was getting busy after that. Word, and it's funny because, I know how to play real D, so I was on the defense crazy. I was taking all that shit. Niggas in the crowd talking about, Booger, stop shooting. You ain't got a jump shot.
Never did. He never did. He never did.
He never did. I was like, yo, why you keep shooting? Because I'm candies. I'm like, whoop, gone. Candy, gone.
He was great in West 4th Street. That was it.
Yeah.
In that little park, he was great.
Yeah, yes, he was.
Anywhere else, not so much.
Yeah. He was a headache. I gave him a little headache that day. He was mad at it. We won and kept it pushing, but he was just like, wow. It was funny because there's like, I guess he was wrapping people around their head, and I did what he did to got his name out there to him. You feel me?
Yeah, you don't like that.
Nah, he ain't
what
like
happens is, plus your handle, you got the type of handle when person see you dribble, they already know they can't rip it. They can't reach. So now you're
because Jack had a hard handle. Yeah,
you
like
force
you.
it right there.
He had a hard handle like you. I mean, y'all can control, but it's a hard handle.
Right.
Look, man, look. I'm on to show one more video about my guy Strick. Hope it loads, because let's see what it look like, man.
Gotcha.
This right here says it all a little bit.
My guy. But I remember them Fort Tryon days, man. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
This is John Strickland, aka the franchise, and I am a street ball legend. Why am I a street ball legend? Well, nowadays guys are being given these titles after 1 or 2 moves. I've been doing this for 15 to 17 years. When you go against a legend and you get at them, and that's how you become one. Street ball means life to me. Like I live, eat this. It's like it's breath and be playing ball. I just love this game for life.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
College. Then you got the Kingdom, Hoops in the Sun. If you go to work there, and it's pretty much you get your status.
Franchise, fade away, banks and hold.
I've never been no high jumper, never been quick. So it's still the same as I was 24. I'm moving the same way right now. I'm 34, just a little more clever. The franchise game is just real, just being crafty, a post demon. Got a lot of tricks in the trade, left hand, right hand, like Houdini. I was with the Knicks.
You got the hand up.
And I've been to Miami, a couple of NBA camps, overseas, all over the world. Minor leagues, picked up a little nickname from there called MLK. Not the great Martin Luther King, but minor league killer.
Big fella just sitting in the middle. We coming back. 2 bumps.
I do a lot of talking. A lot of people don't know, just to keep me pumped up. Because I play against a lot of players, no disrespect. I can't really get up for them. I never cross the line, though. But just always to get a little laugh in.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
I'm like this, baby.
Yeah, the franchise signature move is definitely that left hand. Sometimes I talk to him.
He start looking at his hand and shit. Look at him.
My best street ball moment, I was playing with the Terror Squad, Fat Joe. I'm looking around. I see Sean Marion to my right. That's 90 million. I see Jermaine O'Neal to my left. That's 120 million. And Stephon Marbury looked me in the face and said, "Strick, we going through you." So it just felt good, like the guys of that caliber come down here and they respect my game. I'll bring back to the NBA. I thought about it about 2 years ago when I grew up. I got a childhood friend named Jay-Z. I'm pretty sure you know him. He's part owner with the Nets. He was trying to get me to go to camp out there and all that, but at 34, I just left alone, just going overseas, just trying to get this money because I figured at the end of the day, all that money still spins the same. You just had a moment with a street ball.
That part.
Major, man. I had to do something for the homie, man. I miss him so much, man. And just to talk about him, man. I think it was a great way to kind of get close to the end of the show. I thank you, Big Kim, for doing this for us, man. And
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, because we had to pick the right person to set off the show. We had a few other guys in mind, but we understand how close you and Jack is, how close you and I are. So we already knew we got to pick you, man. So we had to go with one of the gatekeepers of the neighborhood, man. And we're gonna pick more people from our hood, man. Washington Heights, be ready.
I can't wait.
Washington Heights, be ready. Listen, we got to talk about Washington Heights, man, and the buildings, man.
Yes,
some people don't think it was a black people up there, man. It was black people in the Heights, man.
Yes, they were.
Yes,
yes
black
they
people
were.
from the Heights, man. They don't believe it, though. Shout out to all my Dominicans, man, all my people, all the stores, all the
Bridge kids, baby. Shout out to the
everybody,
Bridge
man.
Bridge kids for life.
Bridge kids for life. We coming, bro. We coming, man. Thank you one more time, Kim, and we love you, man.
Like love y'all too, man.
Go you, go us, the podcast. We here.
Exactly.
And we outside. Church.
He outside and I'm inside. J30. Kim, we love you, man. Any last words?
Like cook food.
Shout out to the
I just appreciate y'all, fellas, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, we like you say, man. You day one, man. So you down in history, man. The first show, first guest ever. You know what I'm saying? So it is
I'm
what it
so
is.
much appreciative.
Yeah, we had to go with our family, man. You had to go with a gatekeeper, man. One love, man.
All right, so, yo, peace out, fellas.
All right, baby. Love you like cook food. Uno.
Always a pleasure. Oh, you know we still eating too.
That's right.
That part.
One.
Hey, we ain't missing no meals.
I'm out, niggas.
Easy. One love.
All right.
Peace. Thank you.